I'm 35 now. Things are starting to break apart.
Yeah. When I hit 47s, when I really started to feel. Yeah, I mean, when my son and I are in the yard, I can't throw a football anymore. It's like less than 10 yards. So not Uncle Rico. Well, no. I can't throw the football over the mountains. But now what we do, and we did this last night, he gets to the other end of the yard, which our yard's probably about maybe 25 yards wide, and I punt it to him. Mm-hmm. And the whole challenge is, can he catch it? And we get a few warm-up punts in, and then we do out of 20. So last year we did 2 sets. He got 12 out of 20 and 14 out of 20. 60%, 26 out of 40. So
when you say you can't throw a football, does it hurt when you throw, or you just don't have the muscle in you?
My shoulder and right here, because we had that huge snow back in January where I shoveled snow like 4 times in 2 days. Right here, it's like
tendinitis.
It feels like it's in the bone.
It's probably a tendinitis.
And it started hurting that day, and that was like late January, and it's never left. So I mean, I can go like this, but it's not going anywhere. I am Butler Eagles sports writer Derek Pida, and here with me today are fellow sports writer Brendan Howe and Eagles sports editor Jake Murda Adams. This is Season 2 of the Alter Eagles Eye on Sports. I can't say good defense.
Yeah, learn if they're left-handed.
Yeah. Or just continue to punt and see if he can fair catch.
Are you skilled enough to be able to punt with wobble or put any sort of spin on it to try to, mess with him a little?
There are some punts that I had yesterday that literally looked like passes. I mean, it was like literally, it was a spiral. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how to duplicate that like on a consistent basis. Normally it's just like an end over end kick, but sometimes it looks pretty cool because it's like a pass. But it's like when I golfed. Every once in a while I'd hit a good shot, mm-hmm. but I have no idea how I hit that good shot.
Yeah.
And then it would be like 4 or 5 holes until I hit another good shot. So.
Brendan, have you reached the age yet where you get out of bed in the morning and you're like, I don't know why this hurts, or
he's
it's like
still
just
in his
back
20s,
pain?
Man, he's still young.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
But I stayed up until, we went to my brother's. He had a fire on Saturday night, and we ended up talking. Like everybody else drank. Me and Tyler just sat there while they drank and talked. And we were out until 3 a.m. That had to drive home. I got to sleep around like 4:15. I woke up at, I think, 9 or 10 yesterday. Mm-hmm. And going to sleep that late messes with my schedule for like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
So
what time do you get to bed?
Like 4:15.
Yeah, he's rallying,
I'm
man.
usually about 3 o'clock. That's what time I get to bed.
It's taking us back to not high school. I didn't do that in high school.
My sleep schedule changes depending on like what part of the year it is. Like during the football season, because I have to go cover practice, I'm in bed by like probably 12:30, 1 o'clock, just so that I can be up earlier in the morning. But in this off season, I've been going to sleep around like 2, 3, and that also depends on like if I'm just writing or if I'm playing Madden until 3 a.m., which it alternates.
I can't stay up till like 2, 3 a.m. as often as I used to. That seemed to kind of end around COVID.
Open it if you're gonna open it. You can totally open it, man.
Yeah, I can't. I don't stay up how you stay up a little bit later, right?
Oh, I'm up till 3.
Yeah.
Like
so I'm the early bird. Yeah. I get home from work and it's 11:30, 12 o'clock. Watch an episode of TV, or if Mallory wants to put something on YouTube, and I'm out by like 1 o'clock. Almost every night.
And I woke up
mm-hmm.
at 2:30 a.m. and was like this. And I kept trying to go back to sleep, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen.
Should have called me up. I was still up.
Yeah, because that would have been normal for me to just call you. And
last weekend, Bailey
Beth would have been like, "What are you doing?"
She's sleeping. She's out.
Last weekend, Bailey and I slept until 12:45 p.m.
Oh,
Sunday.
Yeah, but you needed it.
Felt nice.
Yeah, right.
Derek, when was the
moment, 5 minutes into the
first
episode.
moment you felt where it was like, man, my body is getting...
We love it.
I'm telling you, 47.
47.
And I'm 48 now. It was when I
was
47
What did you ask?
Like, when was the first... Do you remember a moment where you just, for the first time, you were like, oh, this is what age feels like physically?
Oh, yeah.
Like where you just, like, something hurts in a way that didn't, or you don't
recover. Like getting out was tough.
Yeah.
Getting out of the bed, and it was when my mattress was I'll be honest, when I moved into this new place, my mattress was on the floor for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, I was living like a frat boy. Mattress on the floor. It was probably then, last fall. There was one morning where I was just like, nope, can't do this. And I think I had been at the theater or something after a show drinking until like midnight. Ooh, crazy. And this was like 8:39 in the morning. I'm like, this is not right. I shouldn't be feeling this way.
I had a futon until I was 25. Just because that's what I could afford in college. Like, bought a futon in college and then kept that until I got my first bed paid for my first bed as an adult when I was like 25.
The two ends of our sofa, either end, recline.
Oh,
and,
nice.
I go home and I play my online Scrabble. There's a card game. I don't know if you guys have ever played it. It's called Oh Hell.
I've heard of it.
Game.
Yeah,
I've
never played it.
I've heard of it from you.
And
we talked about
You brought up last time when I had to bleep it, but remember now I don't have to bleep it thanks to Terry Hanratty. Thanks, Terry.
And of course I watch TV, but if I spend any considerable amount of time reclined on the couch and I try to get up, I'm like, I'm like kind of like hunched over until I kind of get warmed up, and then I flex my back and I'm like, okay, I can walk now. But I'm like, if I'm like that now and I'm not even 50, what am I going to be like 10 years from now? I'm going to be asking Jake to wheel me around in a wheelchair.
No, I might be.
Do you stretch before bed?
I do.
That would help.
Yeah.
Probably would.
I've started doing that, and it does. Well, yeah.
With all the shoulder and everything else issues.
Well, this is great.
Yeah.
This is high energy.
Our listeners are just
we're
like,
talking about
we're
here.
listening to a bunch of old guys.
Where's my Geritol?
And next thing I'm gonna have a wheel or
we got every generation present here.
Just about
20s, 30s, and 40s.
Just don't have like Gen X.
My birthday's on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Happy birthday! 29, right?
46.
May 23rd.
May 23rd, man.
I'll celebrate with you in Shippensburg. Me and Rob will take a picture and send it back to you.
Yeah, you should.
My
Actually, find Cybert for me and
oh, there you go.
get a little FaceTime action going there. I'm sure he'd love to see my face.
My birthday's on a Friday this year, and I will not be in. No, I'm not gonna say it. Just let it
You
go.
won't be in Pennsylvania?
I'll be here. I will choose where I'm going that night to cover a football game. There are certain areas I will not go to spend my birthday.
Oh, you just don't want to go to
That's fair.
certain. That makes sense.
That's fair. So
What is this for you? Will you be 28?
Yeah.
Oh, getting closer to 30.
Part of the 27 Club now. You guys know what the 27 Club is, right?
No, wow.
Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix,
Oh.
That's right, yeah.
Jim Morrison.
Oh, my goodness.
All these famous singers died when they were 27.
This is very morbid. We're talking about old and people dying at 27. Don't say that to your friend there.
I believe Kurt Cobain was in the
He was
27.
27.
Hey, I
yeah.
just watched the documentary on that, the Viper Room. I used to drive past it all the time. It's on Sunset, West Hollywood.
That's where River Phoenix died.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many
Good.
other people died there?
This is great. Let's, Dominic, what is wrong with these people?
Let's take a left turn.
A left?
A left turn.
That seems wrong.
Well, it's not because we're talking about track.
Track.
And all track does is take left turns when it turns.
This is true.
That's right. I never
It's
thought
like
of that.
NASCAR.
Listen, the worst thing is running 300 hurdles in high school and then going to college and they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to add another 100 meters and 2 more hurdles. That means 2 curves. Not a fan of the left lead leg. Got to hug that curve, baby. Hug that curve. Sorry,
I didn't have to-
it's still having like PTSD from being shouted at.
Is that why you wake up at like 2:30 in the morning? It's just you hear a coach yelling at hug the curve.
Like,
Is that what's going on in your head all these years later?
Yeah, that or my mother screaming like a banshee, like at the finish line. Like she would scream. And I'm like, I am running fast. I am. I'm going as fast as I can.
I'm trying. Shut up.
Okay, to bring it up a little bit and maybe humble myself a bit, I ran so hard in a 400-meter hurdles, one meet, I like literally couldn't feel from my hips down, and I peed myself. Apparently, as I was sprinting the 400-meter hurdles.
Like all of the geriatric conversations here in the last.
And
10
I got
minutes.
to the finish line and realized it when I went over the fence. And my mom's like, she couldn't believe that I did that. And I said, listen, it was a matter of slowing down or peeing myself and winning. And I chose pee.
I don't know if that was specifically the track and field that you competed. I think Clarion has a way of taking away people's bodily functions from them.
Bladder control.
Listen, it had never happened before and it didn't happen after that. But I won, so that's all that matters. Continue. Track and field. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't have any bladder problems at Shippensburg this weekend. Well, Derek, it would be
Rob hopes
just
so.
you that needs to watch out for those things. But we've had a busy week of district track championships. We have one more week of the track season here coming up. We're going to spend today talking a little bit about what's going on in that scene. We've talked a lot about this, especially like the Butler relay teams this year. But let's start kind of recapping just real quick. We had a couple district championships this week, district champions this week in D9, 10, and WPIAL, which is District 7. Brendan, you were at the WPIAL championships. Derek, you were at D9 and 10, one of them being at Brookville, one of your favorite places in the world to go to.
Yeah, absolutely.
The D10 and WPIAL championships were at Slippery Rock University, which is one of Brendan's favorite places to go to in the world, I believe. So let's tell us a little bit about what happened here. Who are now, I guess, defending district champions from last week?
Going to Slippery Rock last week, I walked outside and my phone says 55 degrees and it wasn't that cold. So I was like, I'm just going to wear a long sleeve shirt and I'll be good. I got up there. I forgot how much of a wind tunnel that Mahalia Thompson Stadium is. I'm sure like you've been up there when it's cold. And if not for a Penn State hoodie that I left in my car, I probably would have froze to death being there for 6-7 hours. So that was interesting. But yeah, a number of winners we had there. I didn't get to talk to all of them. I am naming Freeport's Mackenzie Magness as the only one that I didn't get to talk to because she did like 3 or 4 events, and each time that everyone went up to talk to her, she's like, I got to go do this. I got to go do this. She's busy, did well. I think she medaled in one of the other events, and she obviously won the pole vault, which you're familiar with, covering her at States last year. Butler's 4x8 team won early in the day, kind of gave me the story that I was going to write about because they were 13 seconds slower than their best time, and somehow they still came out on top. That was a combination of the cold, the rain. What I thought was interesting was I talked to them about technique, and they, in a race like that, they let someone else get in front of them on a windy day so that that person can break the wind and they can kind of just skate on by behind them until it's time to run past them.
That's smart.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
I thought that was really interesting, and we talked some about that. Audrey Wolfe, talked to her. She has a really interesting story in a feature that will be coming out later this week that I talked to her about. She actually just mentioned it was one of those stories that kind of fell into your lap as like a kid just randomly says, "Oh yeah, I was in the hospital for 4 days," and then they just keep on talking. Like, no, like let's go back and talk about that.
Rewind.
You can't just drop that and then like move on, carry on. Another winner from Seneca Valley on the girls' side was Tennyson Voll. She's a pole vaulter. I talked to her last night, and she didn't expect to win going in.
Only a freshman.
Yeah, and she didn't expect to go in. She's a huge Chipotle fan. I asked her.
Oh, God. Match made in heaven.
That's the story.
I asked her what she did to celebrate, and she said, I went to eat. And I'm like, okay, so where'd you go to eat? And she said, Chipotle. And boom, I was like, I religiously eat there 3 to 4 times a week. And she's like, me too. So we had that in common. That won't be part of the story. Figured I'd tell you that there. Yeah, overall, North Catholic's girls 4x4 team also won. I did not get to see that race. There were a few really close efforts in, I forget what event it was. It might have been the 100 meters or 400 meters with Logan Shade from North Catholic. It went down to the 1,000th of a second for him to come in second. The other kid like literally dove across the finish line, hit the ground, and they waited. They're looking at the times, and they waited there for at least 30 to 45 seconds. I was thinking, I didn't go up and talk to him because I didn't want to be like, hey, you just barely came in second. How was your day? So I kind of let him be, but they're looking up at the scoreboard, like hoping, like, hey, I hope I'm first. And he ended up coming second. There was another North Catholic girl, one of the twins, I think it was Audrey Lazzara, that came in second by, I think it was 0.02 of a second. So few other close efforts that would have been wins, but those kids also get to go on to states and you'll get to see them there.
I also noticed there were a number of kids in both AAA, which for us is, Seneca Valley, Butler, AA, Freeport, and North Catholic, who made the state meet not by place but by the qualifying standard, which is impressive because sometimes you're placing 6th, 7th, sometimes even 8th. But if you can meet the state qualifying standard, you still head to states, and there's a number of WPIAL kids who did that.
Just to clarify what Brennan was saying, Audrey Lazzara finished second in the 100-meter hurdles, and Anna finished second in the 100 meters. They also combined for the 4x400 relay that I think defended its district championship from last year. They were the state champion last year as well.
That was 4x1.
4x1.
Yeah.
Rob came up to me multiple times during the meet. Now, I obviously wasn't smiling because I was cold. And I have my hood up, and he comes up, and he's like, "What's up, Grumpy?" And I'm like, "I'm not grumpy. I would rather be somewhere else right now." And that's not a knock on the competition itself. It's that it was cold. And I actually, just wanted to get out of there and warm up. When I got in my car and turned on the heat, I was like, thank God, this feels great.
Well, I saw the extended forecast for this week at Shippensburg, and it's supposed to be like low 60s and rain.
Why can't it be like this outside? 90 degrees.
Well, this is actually, I think it's going to be a little too hot.
Yeah.
But, 70 degrees, nice light breeze, sunny, that would be perfect. But we often don't get perfect.
So this isn't the weather you'd go out and run 10 miles in?
This isn't. I don't want to drive 10 miles in this weather.
Is it supposed to rain all day, or is it just scattered?
Which day?
On Saturday.
I think it's scattered, but
It's
I'm out there for
2
days. So
mid 60s isn't bad for running.
Right, but the rain.
But the rain is
I don't think I remember a year covering state track in which it didn't rain for at least 30 to 45 minutes at some point in those 2 days.
It's weird because you've been there. You're at the stadium, and off to the, what would that be? The west is Tuscarora Mountain.
Yep.
And you can see the storm clouds just rolling over that mountain.
Yep.
And once they hit your side of that mountain, they're about a half hour away. That's about it.
I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago. I don't remember if I brought it up on the show, but the amount of times you've covered state track and the amount of times I covered state track, we absolutely were under the media tent together and had no idea years later that we'd be working together.
It was meant to be that we'd come together at some point.
I was probably much more noticeable than you because I could be loud and boisterous and just flying all over the place, running to different things.
Damn.
You're a very stoic guy who.
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe you're running.
You hear
around.
that, Beth? I'm stoic, baby.
I don't believe you're.
Daddy's coming home.
I don't believe you're making a fool of yourself. No, I was never making a fool of myself. I don't think you were ever making yourself seen, and I could sometimes be quite loud.
That is correct on me. I mean, I like flying under the radar, just doing my job and getting out of there. So.
Well, you had a job to do on Friday and Saturday with D9 and 10, and Slippery Rock Girls won 4 individual championships.
Mm-hmm.
Karns City came away with, I think, 1 or 2 as well in D9. So who do we have to look forward to at states from those schools?
Well, at Slippery Rock, they had, as you mentioned, 4 individuals win. Lila Runtus won the javelin. Lydia Springerth won the high jump. She's only a freshman. Natalie Wilson won the pole vault, and Samantha Montgomery won the long jump. I didn't know. I mean, I knew those girls were seated high, but I would not have guessed going in that actually most of them were seated high. Lila Runtus kind of came out of nowhere to win the javelin. Mm-hmm. But the fact that Slippery Rock's girls finished second in the team standings, 2.5 points behind McDowell, and McDowell is always going to be a AAA school in track. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're huge. I think they've got more kids up there than Butler. Slippery Rock is right on that borderline. I wouldn't be surprised if this next 2-year cycle they're AA.
I believe they bumped up to 3A this last 2-year cycle, right?
They used to be AA. For this 2-year cycle, they're AAA. But for a school that has, I'm guessing, probably 3 times as many kids as Slippery Rock, for McDowell to only beat Slippery Rock by 2.5 points in the team standings, that says a lot for the Rockets. Obviously, not only the girls that they had win, they had a lot of second place, third place, fourth place. You get points all the way down to 8th place. But Slippery Rock really did a good job to put itself in a position to win. And actually, it was the 4x4 relay, the last event of the day, where McDowell won, and that put them to 113.5 points, which surpassed Slippery Rock. Up to that point, Slippery Rock was actually winning. Mm-hmm. But I believe Slippery Rock placed 6th in the 4x4, and McDowell won it, and that was enough points for McDowell to take away the team title.
And how about D9 with Karns City?
So District 9 had 3 winners locally for us, all Karns City kids. The 4x1 relay on the girls' side, which included Phoebe Brandon, She also won the 100 dash, and Alex Wilson won the pole vault. The interesting thing about Alex Wilson is he's certainly no stranger to the medal stand at D9. This is his third straight medal performance at the District 9 Championships. But the pole vault got over with, I'm guessing, a little after 4, and he was told that he finished second. He and a kid from Brookville both went 14.6, but it was determined that the kid from Brookville had less misses, and he was declared the champion. 3.5 hours later, I'm sitting in the press box typing up results, and I could hear people in the next room like talking about something. I was like kind of half listening to it, and somehow during the pole vault competition, they screwed something up, and Alex Wilson actually won the pole vault. So wow. I don't know. I was unable to track him down. I wasn't able to talk to him after they declared him the winner, but he basically found out 3.5 hours after the fact that, oh, yeah, by the way, you won the pole vault. After they went through the whole medal ceremony and the kid from Brookville standing on top and Alex Wilson's next to him, yeah, he won, but it was a delayed victory.
Do they got to meet at like a Rudders or like the side of the highway and exchange medals now?
Well, if they're doing it at Rudders, I'll go cover it as long as I can expense my meal there. I'll get my shrimp French fry and coleslaw platter. But Alex Wilson's now going to states as a district champion. He says he thinks he can go 16 feet. He said that on the show last week. Yep. So we'll see what happens there. Phoebe Brandon wins the 100, as I mentioned. And the thing that I found interesting about that was I'm interviewing her after she comes off the medal stand. And she told me that she always gets off the slow starts. She's not good off the blocks. And I would think, I mean, of course, I'm not a track guy. Like Laura, our producer, she has much history in track. She knows these things. I would think that in an event that is as bang bang as the 100, if you get off to a slow start, that kills your chances.
Yeah.
She said Phoebe told me she always gets off the slow starts, but then once she gets like 4 or 5 strides in, she really can make up time, and she won the district title with a 12:55. So apparently it's as the old saying goes, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and that's certainly the case with her.
You know who was a famously slow starter in the sprints as an Olympian?
Carl Lewis.
Oh, you might be right about that, but there's one more recent that I know of. Usain Bolt.
Oh, really?
That if you
fastest human being.
If you watch some of his races, he's coming back from like 6th. Wow. Almost every time. Off the block, he would be one of the slowest guys, and then he'd destroy everyone.
That's crazy.
And he broke the record by, I shouldn't say taunting, showboating the last like 3 strides he took. he would have ran like 1/10 of a second faster if he had just ran through the tape there.
Sometimes exploding out of the blocks, it's almost like that burst. It takes it out of you right away. It's almost like you use it all up.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw so many races where I'd watch that happen. I always had a kick in the 4. Mm-hmm. As soon as I got past that 200-meter mark, I don't know what would happen. I just was to the wall, just kicking. Some people just said we have a kick, but in 100 meters, I saw that a lot.
That's crazy.
You'd see them kind of be even, and then all of a sudden, and then you just continue to see them just progress. It was almost the speed and the endurance of the speed, if that makes sense, to be able to kick. Yeah.
Phoebe Brandon was also, I can't forget to mention that she was also named MVP of the meet. Not Karns City's MVP, the MVP, the girls' MVP of the entire
I didn't realize they named MVPs at that.
There's an official name to the award. It's some former athletic director or track official or something in the district. I think he passed away a few years ago, but they named the award after him. But in effect, it's an MVP award. I do want to mention the other girls that won on the 4x1 along with her for Karns City: Brynlee Kaufman, Ava Kamensky, and Maya Jones. Obviously headed to states as a district champion relay team.
Well, I want to go back to Alex Wilson for a second. We were talking about him being a 3-time district medalist. He's also going to be one of our returning state medalists. He finished 5th last year in the 2A boys pole vault. We got a handful of kids going to states that have already reached the Shippensburg University podium, along with Alex. Freeport's Mackenzie Magness, who we've talked about a bunch already today and in this season. She's the defending 2A pole vault champion in girls. So we have we have 2 2A medalists going to states in pole vault, including the defending champ. And I believe we have a couple others in 3A going to pole vault as well that are hoping to get their first medals. North Catholic has several returning athletes to the state podium, including Audrey and Anna Lazzara. Audrey's won second in the 100 hurdles in 2A girls, and she and Anna last year were on the 4x100 relay that won the state title. Alexa Stoltz is a 4x400 fourth place medalist last year for the North Catholic Trojanettes. And over in 3A, we've got Seneca Valley's Jordan Monteleone. She was fourth in the girls 3A high jump last year. And obviously we've talked a lot about the sprinters and like middle sprinter runners for Butler boys. Logan Ekas and Kevin Shriver won the 4x100. I shouldn't say won. They finished sixth in the 4x100 last year in 3A. We're not sure of Logan's status. He hurt his hamstring a couple meets ago. Brendan said that he was not at the district championship this past week or not competing in it. But his brother, Carter Ekas, is also a sixth place medalist last year in the 4x400. So Butler has 2 relay medals last year, and 3 of those runners are still on the teams, on some combination of those teams going to states. So we have quite a few that are looking to add to their medal hauls.
North Catholic, one interesting thing, last year you mentioned at WPIAL's last year, they won a district title by setting a school record in the 4x1. Mm-hmm. And then they won the 4x1 at states as well. This year, the 4x1, I think they placed 12th or 13th.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as strong.
But they are going to states in the 4x4.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still a relay, but last year they had Siva Cresta and Daphne Floral team up with the Lazzara sisters, and they won states in the 4x1. Now it's the 4x4. Callie Candravy, are you familiar with that name?
Yeah.
Okay. She went at the WPIAL team championship meet. Mm-hmm. She went 19.4.5 in the long jump. Mm-hmm. Okay, now at the WPIAL individual championship meet, which Brendan covered last week, I think she finished second with a 17 and change, but she went 19.4.5 the week before at the WPIAL team championships. Last year, the girl who won AA long jump was from West Catholic, which I believe is in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Amara Krabby, 18.5 3/4.
Wow.
18.5 3/4.
Almost a full foot.
Callie Candravy's already gone 11 inches better than that, but it all comes down to what you do that day. But she's only a freshman, so I think we're going to be talking about Callie Candravy for a long time, for the next 3 years anyhow. And her brother Jack, who's a junior, also made states in several events.
She had 17.85 in the individual WPIAL championships last week, I should say. Top local contenders. You're talking about Candravy there. Well, so any more to add on her, and who else should we watch for from District 9 and 10 since you were covering them last week?
Well, Alex Wilson, we had him on the show recently. He said he thinks he's capable of going 16 feet. He went 14.6 at D9, but he owns the school record at 15.3, and he thinks he can get up to 16 feet, which would be 9 more inches. And he's only a junior. But the fact that he believes he's capable of that, I think somebody with that much confidence, and he's just been rising ever since his freshman year, did better as a sophomore, has done better this year as a junior. I think he's somebody that I'm definitely going to have to watch for out there, because District 9 they have a way of producing these pole vaulters. For the last few years, it was Ashton Grossman, who almost won a state title last year, had to finish for second. Now it's Alex Wilson, and he's got 2 more years to do it, but I look for big things out of him. And as you mentioned, the Lazzara kids, they're the Lazzara sisters, Audrey and Anna at North Catholic. They're just such good athletes. I mean, I think at one point Anna was actually throwing the shot put this year.
Yeah.
Just when they needed somebody.
Potentially future decathletes is what they talked about.
Yeah. I mean, obviously that's not their best event, but just the fact that Terry Fisher, their head coach, could plug them into a throwing event and say, here, we need some points in this meet. Can you? And they would go out and do it.
Yeah.
But obviously their best events are on the track: hurdles, 100 dash, and the relays. So, and they have the experience of winning a state title. They've done it last year on our relay team. So, I think the Lazzara girls are going to be bringing home more medals. It just depends on what place. We'll have to see. But I think they're going to have a good meet as well.
And Brendan, anything to add on the Lazzara twins and what you saw from districts at all with them, if you were able to kind of catch them?
I didn't get to see Anna at all. just because of the running back and forth, trying to stay in the tent and stay dry. Like I said, I got to see Audrey's race, and she was very, like, after I talked to her right after, because I thought that'd be like another story. It ended up just being sort of a subhead at the bottom of the story. You go up to someone like that, they lose by point like that. You would expect them to be really down, but she was just like, it's track and field. It happens. Like, I'm not going to let it bother me, which was pretty cool. I thought maybe that'd be a little bit of an awkward interview, and it wasn't. She's pretty nice.
All right, so Derek, this is mostly for you, but Brendan, I want you to chime in if you have any thoughts here as well. What are the top stories we're going to be watching for at States this week, whether it's someone we've already talked about or someone or something else?
During the course of the season, I believe it was you who did a story on Dakari Payne and the fact that, I mean, he, at one point, I don't know if this is still the case, but at one point he was ranked first in our coverage area in all 3 jumps on the boys' side. So he goes to Whipples this past week, and I know he was disappointed in his high jump, which was only 6'1", and he's capable of more. Did he triple jump at State or at Whipples?
Yes.
Okay. He didn't make States in that. He didn't make States in, the long jump, but he did make it in the triple jump. So he was a star during the season in 3 jumping events. He's got 1 left, the triple jump, and I would think that he's going into the state meet saying, hey, things didn't go the way I wanted them to at Whipples. High jump didn't go the way I wanted it to. Long jump didn't go. He's got 1 event left to make something big happen this year. So I'm anxious to see what he can do in the triple jump because the kid's a great athlete. He's an awesome athlete. And, of course, Mackenzie Magness from Freeport. She has now won 3 straight Whipple championships in the pole vault, and she's the defending state champ in the double A on the girls' side. And she went 12 feet, Brennan, to win Whipples, and that's what she went last year to win state. So you know she's looking to get to that next level, get up to 12.4, 12.6, and she's only a junior. So we'll see how she closes her junior campaign. But obviously entering the meet with a lot of confidence as a 3-time Whipple champ and state champion from last year as well.
Yeah, about Dakari, Rob said that he went up to him because I didn't go and talk to him because he didn't place high enough and
finished 4th, I think was his best
space. Yeah. And Rob said he went up to him and he said, like, what happened today? And he said that Dakari told him, I don't want to talk about it. Just left it at that.
I respect that. I mean, it shows that the kid cares. It's not like, oh well, like they're like
he has a lot invested. Away.
He has a lot invested in his own effort, and like I said, I'm glad for him that he did get the states in 1 event. We'll see how it turns out for him, but high jump a couple of years ago, that was his main event.
Yeah,
and then he switched over and added the triple jump and the long jump. Now he's got a chance to close his career because he's a senior. We'll see how he does it in the triple jump, but he's capable of a lot. We've seen that.
Track is an interesting sport to cover because you get more time to see these athletes cope with success or failure in all of their attempts, especially the field events, which they're throwing or jumping a minimum 3 times in each. And if they qualify for the final round, then they get to go 3 more times, et cetera. Or pole vault, you just keep going until you don't clear the bar. Football, basketball, baseball, these kind of sports, you don't get to see that because it's like the next play happens. So you might see them like hang their heads or something like that, but they don't have a ton of time to process the adversity or process a missed opportunity or things like that. And in track, you can sit there and watch a Mackenzie Magness or a Tennyson Voll or whoever fail at whatever attempt and then have to come back and sit in it for however many minutes, especially in those prelims, and try to recover and bounce back for the next attempt.
It's how they do mentally in between a disappointing jump or a disappointing vault. What's going through their mind before they get back up and try again? Mm-hmm. I think that's key because we're always told that so much of sports, whether or not you succeed or not, is mental, and it's how a kid treats a bad performance, a bad jump, whatever, and what kind of mentality he goes out there, what kind of mindset he takes right before that next vault, jump, whatever.
It'll be another one we'll watch is the 4x800 Butler boys team. Last year, like I mentioned, it was the 4x1 and 4x4 that came away with medals at the state championships. This year, it's kind of unexpectedly that 4x8 that's going to be there. One other athlete I do want to highlight here for a moment is in the wheelchair competition when Seneca Valley freshman Mitchell Everly is going to be competing in 4 events: the 100-meter dash, the 400 dash. Let me pull up the last 2 here real quick: the shot put and the discus. Now, there's a little bit of a caveat here. There's really only about 3 or 4 athletes competing in all of these events. He's the 3rd seed in the 100 out of 3 athletes. He's not going. The times are not particularly close, so he will probably finish 3rd in that. Mm-hmm. But he's the lone competition in the shot put and the lone competition in the discus. So we're talking about a kid who's going to be winning district medals here, or state medals here. It does not look like there has ever been a boys discus wheelchair thrower in PIAA history. There is no past record holder listed or PIAA record holder listed at all. So that'll be pretty interesting to see. John's going to be doing a story on Mitchell later this week that should be in by the time this episode drops. And do you guys have anything else you want to add about states before we wrap up here?
I'm just looking forward to that drive out there, and hopefully Rob's going with me, our photographer, and hopefully he's okay with at least one visit to Rudders.
Yes. Can you take a picture? Yeah. Will you have him take a picture of you at Rudders?
We'll have,
because we need that. I think the people want to see that.
Absolutely.
It's for the
people. You can FaceTime me if you want.
So as Derek alluded to, he and Rob will be at the state championships this weekend on Friday and Saturday at Shippensburg University. Follow us on butlereagle.com. We will have coverage from that both evenings, sometime after 5 o'clock, both days probably, depending on when that wraps up, unless that random rogue thunderstorm rolls through for 45 minutes like it seemingly always does. But yeah, the 2 of them will be there. We'll have some great coverage from that. We'll probably be talking about some state champions or medalists in a couple weeks here. So that's it for the state track championships.
I believe you're 6-4 now.
I will update that. Okay. Apologies. Sorry, Brendan. Well, actually, never mind.
Derek told me before the show he's got a doozy this week.
It's not really a hard question. I just don't think you're going to get it.
It doesn't involve toenails.
What was the first NFL team to play in 3 straight Super Bowls?
The Vikings.
Play in 3.
Play in 3 straight. Miami Dolphins.
The Dolphins are in 3. I don't know.
6, 7, and 8. They lost 6 and they won 7 and 8.
Have you ever? I think I asked this last week. I don't remember. Have you ever watched the Dorktown on YouTube? The Minnesota Vikings. That SB Nation did. John Boys, you know who that is?
You mean the history of the Vikings?
Yeah.
I saw something I don't know if it was the one.
It's like a bunch of graphs, and they'll throw in some 1970s videos, and they go decade by decade. And it's pretty cool. In the one episode, they said the Vikings or the Steelers or the Vikings should have been in the 70s because the Vikings had all these good teams with Fran Tarkenton, and they just could never win the big game.
The thing that just blows my mind about the Vikings, they were a great team. Their coach from that era, Bud Grant's in the Hall of Fame.
Bless you.
Thank you.
They were a great team with a ton of talent, and yet every time they got to the Super Bowl, even the one against the Steelers, which the Steelers only won by 10 points, 16-6, they gave up 102 total yards to the Vikings. They get to the Super Bowl and they just get their butts kicked every single time. What happened?
It's before they.
Brendan, look into that. Get us a story.
Hey, you think they win those games if you drop Randy Moss from 1998 onto those 1970s?
Well, Mel Blount would take his head off.
I don't know about that.
And that was legal back then.
Randy Moss was a dog.
Whatever. I actually like Randy Moss. I'm a big Randy Moss fan.
It would be if Mel Blount could catch him or got him over the middle, he would decapitate him. But if Randy Moss got over the top, it was game over.
Jack Lambert.
How about Mel Blount and DK Metcalf? I think that would go.
I can't go against him. Mel Blount had a rule change named after him. DK Metcalf hasn't had that, right?
I'll let him know you said that.
But he could, yes.
Hey, maybe it'll make him. No more drops this year, DK. No more drops. I'm motivating you.
DK, we want to talk to you.
Hey, that Steeler game, that playoff game was still close when he had that drop. You know which one I'm talking about. Yeah. It was 3-0, I think. Yeah. Hey, I'm hoping he plays well this year. Speaking of next season for the Steelers, it's time for our Beyond Butler segment, and that's where we talk about something outside of Butler County, whether it be college or pro sports. And alas, after months of waiting, it appears as Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Steeler in 2026. I don't think he's officially signed a contract yet, but it's going to happen.
He signed it today.
He has it? Okay. What's it, $25 million?
Up to $25 million.
So you cover the Steelers. I want to get your thoughts on him coming back, strictly on him coming back, not the fact that he waited 4 months to do it. I'll talk about that. Go ahead.
I never thought that it was going to be a doubt that he's going to come back, just even with everything. I had to write the guys of Aaron Rodgers still making his decision. I had to write that at least 200 times over this offseason. Just about, like, I had to come up with a different lead every story I wrote because I wouldn't write the same one. You run out of ideas. Anyways, him coming back, he took the bulk of the snaps in the team period today, which was really odd. Mike McCarthy's changing things up where last year you would record, or the video period would be individual drills. It'd be the quarterbacks throwing passes, be the running backs jumping over the bags and stuff like that. This year, today was the first day, the policy changed, I guess, or he changed the practice around to where you get to take videos of team period now, which is different. I never did that last year. He took most of the team snaps. Will Howard was quarterback too, which I thought was interesting too. Of course, it's the first day. Mason Rudolph was QB3. Drew Aller's QB4, which makes a lot of sense. He's a rookie third rounder. But he is the best quarterback they're going to get for this season. Like, they weren't going to go out and find better. You understand why they waited on him, especially later, early on in the season, like off season. I didn't really understand it. But whenever options are that slim, he's the best you're going to get.
I know when it comes to players on one side and pro sports organizations on the other, I mean, it's completely reversed from the way it used to be. You know, players hold the power now, and organizations are often left, you know, kind of at the mercy of a star player, a future Hall of Famer like Rodgers. I just wish, out of respect for the Steelers, not only he's only played there one season so far, but I just wish he would have made his mind up, 2 months ago. Before the draft, let's put it that way. Before
the whole
draft.
process was very odd, I will say. Yeah, like there was no reason that he couldn't have committed, I feel like. It's not like last season where he says, I'm dealing with some family issues, which, of course, he's not going to go into any detail on. You can't really question somebody. If you're having a family issue and you text someone, no one is ever going to be like, oh, well, tell me what that issue is right now, and then we can figure it out. But this season, there was nothing like that. It was just, does he want to play again? And if he didn't want to play again, he would have retired.
I'm telling you, as somebody who has a very vested interest in what the Steelers do every week, and he's actually one of the players I know by name, Aaron Rodgers. I have no problem with the fact that, hey, he is now officially going to be the starting quarterback in 2026. I just wish the Steelers would have found out a while ago. Jake, what's your take on this?
I'm not surprised. I mean, we kind of expected this from the beginning. I don't think there were too many other options for them to really pursue in terms of who could have been a legitimate upgrade if we just looked at 2026. I don't know if there were too many other options available that they could have made a move on, whether drafting or signing or trading for. It was slim pickings this year, and it makes sense, but it's again kicking the can down the road of what's the long. This doesn't kick the can down the road. It acknowledges what the reality was, but they still have not done anything to figure out what is the long-term solution at quarterback. I don't know if it's Will Howard or Drew Aller. When you draft those guys in the second, third round, third and fourth rounds in back-to-back years, the hit rate on those kinds of guys is super low. You're not banking on them being a franchise quarterback at all.
So what's your take? What does the Steelers quarterback situation look like right before the season? Who's dressing? Is there anybody on practice squad? What are we looking at there?
The practice squad thing, there's like certain factors that go into that, but I think if there's an odd man out, it's going to be Rudolph. Like, he's not McCarthy's guy. Neither is Will Howard, but McCarthy obviously thinks very highly of Will Howard if he's taking quarterback 2 snaps. And again, it's a first day. Things could change over the next few days whenever mandatory minicamp starts in early June. That could change. But then you draft Drew Aller. There's no way that as their first third-round pick of this draft that they're going to be like, okay, see you, buddy. Like, unless, like, he's terrible. And even then, You're not going to cut your losses like that. So I feel like Mason Rudolph's going to be the odd man out. Something else I think is really interesting is obviously Aaron Rodgers has worked with Mike McCarthy in the past for, I think it was 17 years. What's interesting to me is he stepped in today, and it didn't look like there was any beat in him remembering the offense or having to ask a question about what was going on. There were motions constantly, like in the videos I took. Tight ends are motioning into the formation, like blocking on run plays or going out on patterns. it looked like he was just like jumping back in. And I was joking around like John, our former editor here, says if he had to do pages, he would have to ask 1,000 questions because he forgets how to do pages. He hasn't done them in a year, 2 years. Aaron Rodgers steps in. It's Mike McCarthy left in 2019, so that'd be 7 years. And he steps back and he's like, I remember this. It's cool.
Well, for somebody getting paid $25 million, I would hope that he'd be able to say, yeah, I got this down pat. I don't have to.
20 years into, yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
I will say this, and if they do get rid of Rudolph and Rodgers, let's say he goes down for an extended period or even.
Then you get to see what you have.
God forbid have, a season ended like he did a couple years ago with the Jets. Then you're dealing with either Aller or Howard, and you're talking about green guys. But as you mentioned, you just said it, you get to see what you have in those guys, so it could be kind of a silver lining. But I'm hoping Rodgers stays healthy and they can win a freaking playoff game this year. How about that?
Wouldn't that be nice for you guys?
Oh yes, it would be. It would be a dream. So the WPIAL football championships might not be held at Acrisure Stadium this coming season. What should the league do to come up with a long-term solution for the title games if the NFL is going to increasingly intrude on Fridays and Saturdays? We should mention that the Steelers play a home game on Black Friday this
year. At 3:00, yep.
What's your take on this, Brendan? Would you rather them have the site move around like every 2 years, like have it at North Allegheny or Pine Richland? And are as a WPIAL football reporter, if we ever got one team there, would you like to see a game in Heinz Field? I know from
I've covered one before. Remember,
it
was the North Catholic
Central Valley,
and I wore a North Carolina hoodie against Central Valley, and they thought that I was cheering for Central Valley in the stands. Anyways, it'll be interesting covering that Black Friday game because that's the day after Thanksgiving. Everyone's usually pretty sluggish after eating all they eat, and it's kind of just like a day to. We usually come in Black Friday, right?
Mm-hmm. Like last year, the basketball season started on Black Friday.
Yep, it'll start a week later this year.
Thank you.
But anyways, I think that this is a lot of panic about nothing. They still have that Saturday. Pitt is not home that Saturday. Of course, if Pitt was home, it would present a real problem where maybe these can't be held here, or you can't change the schedule. Last year, 6A and 4A were held at Pine Richland High School, which is a nice stadium, probably one of my favorite stadiums I played in.
An incredible press box, a great press box.
Other than Martorelli. I think Martorelli was my favorite stadium to play in, just with how it was formed around like the hills. But very nice stadium. It's not Acrisure Stadium. And I know District 9 plays in like Clarion. And
DuBois. Don't forget DuBois.
Football plays in DuBois for District 9? I thought it was they played
Clarion University. They played. It
well,
goes around.
That was before my time, I guess. But I would really like to see them still be able to play at Acrisure. Like, they're going to find a way to replace that grass. The Steelers play. The next game is a Sunday night game, so that gives them 7 days to fix the sod, and I don't know how that – I've never watched them roll the turf in or fix the grass, but I feel like they'll be able to figure that out. You play 4 games in one day just like they've been doing, or I'm not sure if they'll split them up, but you can play 4 football games in one day. Start one at 11 a.m., finish the night at 10 p.m., you're fine.
The Trib Live reported that there is no contract yet for WPIAL and Acrisure Stadium for Saturday's games. And we obviously know Friday is now out of the picture. They're not going to probably move the schedules around and play games on Thursday. One, it's a holiday, and I don't think Acrisure Stadium would be open for that unless it's the Steelers. 2, they would not play high school games 24 hours before a Steelers game. Steelers are always going to take precedent. I just wonder with this, it's not like the Steelers are going to have a Black Friday or Thanksgiving Day game all the time. But it's pretty clear the NFL wants to drop games on that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday now. And how many do you live with that? Every 6, 7, 8 years, you're just gonna the WPIAL is just gonna kind of get pushed to the side for a little bit and be like, find a new home for a year, or do you as the WPIAL go, you know what, maybe this juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore? I know
for the players, and I've covered Mars at Heinz Field 24 years ago, but more recently than that, Seneca Valley played in 2 WPIAL title games at Heinz Field, 2016, 2018. And I know for the players who, I got to play on the same field that so many huge NFL games took place, I know that that's got to be a thrill for them.
Mhm.
I'm just saying from an aesthetic standpoint, when looking at it, say when they come back from a commercial break and there's like the aerial shot, it looks so empty.
Yeah.
And for a WPIAL championship game, I'd like to see stands of their field, and obviously that's not going to happen in a stadium that seats 70,000 people.
Yeah.
You can play football at Highmark Stadium. Central Catholic used to do it. There's that stadium in Hazelwood now that they built right up from the Steelers facility, like down the road. It's brand new. It's where Central Catholic's going to play its home games. There's a lot of large high schools. I think North Allegheny would be in the conversation there. I don't think Seneca Valley is big enough for
Pine Richland?
Pine Richland. Let's just have it at Butler. Okay, let's just Karns City. Start to Karns City.
Rock.
Where's the okay? Here's a better question.
Robert Morris.
Where's the
I like
worst?
Robert.
Where's the worst possible field that the WPIAL championships could take place?
I could only name the ones around us. I don't know what.
Mount Lebanon, because their press box is like this. Literally, it's about as big as this room. Like, and you're looking out the window. There's room for about 5 or 6 people to actually look down and watch the action in their press box. And they're a 6A school. What's going on?
The Summit Academy field.
Yeah,
Doesn't even
that wins. That's the answer right there. There's a little bit of stands. The press box is just like one room. I haven't been inside, but just like the size of it is one room. Yeah, play on grass.
You mentioned last year that 2 of the title games were played at Norwood.
I thought it was Norwood.
Okay.
I could be
Pine
wrong.
I'm
Pine
just-
Richland, yeah.
I was going to say, I think before they have had games at Norwood, like in the recent past, maybe a few years ago, Norwood has a great press box. I mean, it's kind of like Pine Richland's
Norwood
press
is
box.
also redoing its stadium,
Yeah.
making it bigger. They're spending a lot of money on that. I think a few million.
It's like
so.
15 years after they did it the last time,
Yeah.
too, because my wife has told me about all that. It was like several $1 million to renovate it in the 2000s.
You can tell your wife that her alma mater has a very nice football stadium. That's as far as I'm going to go.
As a not football fan, I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
But she wasn't there every Friday night
Absolutely
with her
not.
pom-poms and
Nope. I don't. She maybe went to like a high school game or two, but I know she wasn't there for very many of them. I was at almost all of them my last 2 years of high school because I was in marching band, but I wasn't there as like a
What'd you
fan.
play?
Drums.
Ah,
Bass drum my first year, snare drum the next year.
he's a percussionist.
Yeah. It was easier to learn that than try to learn another instrument 2 years ago.
It's been almost 2 years to find that out.
I didn't want to learn how to play trumpet or something like that and have to struggle through it. Drums, I was like, I already know how to read sheet music. I already know how to do all this other stuff. I can pick this up enough to be able to play.
My
quickly.
son just had his elementary school concert, and he's the only baritone in the
Ooh.
band or orchestra or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And we went to his concert. It was the day I was off last week. So thank you. I got to see him play with his classmates. But, yeah, he's the baritone. And everybody else was, like, standing up. And there's Will sitting down. I don't know. The teacher made him sit down. So I got a picture of his hair. Not his face, but his hair. That's all I could get. I'll show it to you later. It's like a chia pet. It's like coming up.
He has an afro.
Love it. Oh, state championship, track and field, and volleyball coming up this week. Or district volleyball coming up this week, and then district lacrosse and baseball next week. So we'll see you again soon.
Rudders.
Rudders.
We encourage you to subscribe to the Butler Eagle YouTube channel and Apple or Spotify podcasts or your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Alter Eagle Podcast and at Butler Eagle News. Goodbye.